morning. My name is Arishita. I am a student of Convent of Jesus and Mary Ambala Kant, and today I am going to be narrating my story for the Brainfeed Young Authors Writing Contest, Fire and Water, by Arishita Singh Pawar. Prince gone. Concentrate. You'll get yourself killed, Agna screeched as I dodged another blow of his sword. Calm down, at least I'm trying, I said, panting as he threw blow after blow. When will you understand, Egon? Trying is not enough, he said, not even flinching as my sword missed him by an inch. That the prince, the heir to the throne of the dawn, has to be perfect in every way possible. You know that failures are not well received in the Solberg family, don't you? He finally stopped for a breather and told me to relax. I put my sword away and took a deep breath. Agna was right. Failures were not welcome in my family. But I couldn't change myself, even though I tried my best. See, that's another problem of being a royal. Sure, you get to live in a big castle with everyone calling you Your Majesty, but the expectations which lie on your head are onerous. Do this right, people before family, and yada yada yada. It gets so annoying that sometimes you just want to rip your hair or your head. I know you're frustrated, Egon. Your face is turning orange again, Agna said, looking amused. See, that's another problem of being an Adonian. You just can't hide your emotions. We are made of the element fire, and being able to control it is cool. But you really have to suppress your own emotions. When you're angry, you turn red. You turn purple when you're sad, orange when you're frustrated, yellow when you're happy, green when frightened. The list goes on. Point is, this gets frustrating after a while, not being able to hide your emotions. And did I mention that we have to wear a heat guard everywhere so we don't end up burning everything we touch? Ah, the joys of being a dog. Egon, you listening? Agna said, breaking my thought cycle. I sighed. Yes, Agna, what is it? I said, go take some rest. He yawned. I'm tired anyway. I'm going to my chamber to sleep. Practice by yourself if you want to, he said. I whirled around, ready to answer, but he was gone. Classic Agnar. I had to drag myself to my chamber, tired out of my mind. I slipped off my heat guard and cracked my knuckles. At least my bed's fireproof. I fell asleep the moment my head hit the pillow. I found myself awake. I had this dull throbbing in my chest. Suddenly, everything turned too loud, and there was a pounding in my ear. I slipped on my heat guard and decided that it was time to pay a visit to the Garden of Eden. I tiptoed past the rooms and reached the watch gate. I started quietly walking past that too, to walk past the door which leads to a tunnel. When I heard two people talking, probably guards, but I stopped when I heard the word core. Eavesdropping isn't exactly a very princely trait, but hey, can't blame a boy for being curious. You're serious. He's really dead, I heard one of the guards say. Yes, Anska. Alifa's dead. Couldn't control his anger, burnt himself right out. Saw it happen with my own eyes. May he rest in peace. the guard said, offering his prayer to Alefa. That's another problem of being a fire element. We had a core, something that sustained us and kept us alive. But sometimes, unable to control their anger, our people use too much control of their core. They would burn themselves out and fade away. I reached the garden. Suddenly, the pounding stopped. The throbbing in my chest faded away, and I had never felt calmer. That's the thing with the garden. Peace and quiet were what people came here for. This garden wasn't something Adon could have ever had. It was very simplistic, not built for extravagance, something that was a part of life for Adon. Everything in our country was extravagant, and it was comforting to be here, in a simple place built by a person with lost love. This garden was built by one of my ancestors, a king named Evander. For the people of Edon, his story is an unmatched one. He did something that no Edonian has ever dared or will ever dare to do. Fell in love with a Deondra. Deondra is a country we've been taught to fear and hate. It's a neighboring country, a place inhabited by people of the element water. And everyone knows fire and water can never mix. Her name was Yvette, the queen of the Deondrains. Evander first met her when the wall, supposed to separate Deondra and Adon, was being built. It was love at first sight. It isn't hard to imagine what happened when the news of this got out. The king of Adon himself falling in love with his own enemy. For some, this was outrageous. Evander was able to convince them, but this story doesn't have a happy ending. Fire and water never can. A few months later, tragedy struck. Yvette, coming to Adon for her own wedding, was killed by Frohodi, Evander's brother. The day she should have walked the altar, she faded away. Evander built this garden in her remembrance. Half on our border, half on Deondra's. I felt the leaves rustle behind me. I whirled around. Who's there? My voice echoed, breaking the silence. I pushed away the vines and suddenly found myself staring into the haunting blue eyes of a girl, lit by moonlight. But beyond rain. I drew out my sword, but she was quick. She disarmed me, and I found myself on the other end. Put down the sword, I said, voice cold. I am Prince Egon, heir to the throne of Edon. She smiled. For a country that's so extravagant, you look rather dull to be a prince, much less the heir. I removed my heat guard and held out my hand. All royals in the Solberg family were marked at birth with the family crest, and that helped for my easy recognition when I went out. The girl looked at the crest and stuck out the sword. Well, in that case, she said, I have another reason to kill you, and swung the sword. I ducked. You're the one who's trespassing, I shouted. You're not even supposed to be here, I said, and ducked again. And what kind of a prince are you, Egon? Can't even fight a girl, she said, panting as he swung the sword again. What are you even doing here? I screeched. And how did you cross the wall? She stopped, but still kept the sword to my neck. You Edonians really are dumb to think that a wall with all sorts of crevices and holes will be able to stop a water element. How do you still have your clothes on you? I asked. Deondra is much more advanced than Edon, she said. I looked at her stance. She was a true warrior. You must be a soldier, I said. No, I'm not, O nobly idiotic prince. I am a merchant's daughter, she said. I was curious. Who taught you to do like that then? My father, she said, and finally lowered the sword. I am here to see what the garden's like on your side, she said. What's it like on yours? I asked. Beautiful, she said. What's your name? I asked. Avina, she said. Avina Stenberg. That's a very Leontian like name, I said. It means friend of the sea. I know. You're really sarcastic. I know. You're alone? Yep. Why? Because I don't have any friends. I can be one. And why should I accept that? I don't know. Friends don't need a reason, do they? She hesitated for a moment. So, friends? I asked. Why? You teach me sword fighting, and I trailed off. I didn't have any exceptional qualities. A friend would be enough, though. I don't exactly have any, she said, smiling. But you live evaporate near me, I said. Then get me a heat card. You're the prince. You can get that done, she said. There was silence for a moment. You know this is madness, right? An Edonian and Deonrian can never mix, right? I said. Don't fall in love with me, she said, amused. I stuttered. I well, in that case, friends it is, she finished. It was foolhardy, but Avina was probably the only friend I'd ever had. Being a prince also meant that everyone wanted to use you for their selfish reasons. And my father, to prevent that, made sure I never made any friends. I wasn't allowed to meet people my age, not allowed to talk to the servants or guards for too long, and it kind of wore off on me. This also meant that I was lonely, always. Avina, on the other hand, was different. Every other night when we met, she taught me to duel for an hour and then we talked for hours to an end. Whenever I talked to her, I felt calm. Its effect showed in everything I did. I paid more attention to political talks and I became a much better swordsman. I knew I could confide in her. You really like to drift away, don't you? Avina asked, breaking my thought cycle. We'd been friends for 7 months. What were you saying? I asked. I was saying. She stopped. Footsteps. Hide, Avina whispered, and we jumped behind the bushes we were sitting in front of. Someone passed by the bushes. I was wearing my heat guard on my face so the fire wasn't showing. Where is he? I heard a voice whisper. Come on, Ikon, where are you? That voice. Agnar. I need to go, I told Avina, and left. I quietly slipped back into the palace and went back to my room. Egon, I heard my uncle's voice and froze. Yes. Guards, seized the traitor. I heard my uncle's voice echo, and guards seized me. Stop! My father yelled. He was in handcuffs. Betrayed. Mutiny by my own uncle. Agna told me you've been meeting a Dion train, he said, and I won't let history repeat itself. She too needs to die like a vet. No! I screamed. Something hit me and my eyes closed. I opened my eyes to darkness. You're awake, I heard a voice. Agnar. I snarled and sat up. My hands were in handcuffs. You've been unconscious for roughly 2 days, Agnar said. We'll kill her tonight. You won't, I snarled. Your uncle will, he said, his eyes sad. Do you love her? No. Be gone! Someone screamed. Avina. Avina! I screamed and ran out. Avina was lying on the ground, eyes barely open. She was dying. Be gone, she said, shakily. Bye. And closed her eyes. Avina! I heard people scream. Her family. She faded away, just like a wet hat. My core flared up. Enough! I yelled. The handcuffs melted away. My only friend dead. The fire grew. I screamed. The garden was on fire. My uncle ran, but the flames caught up and consumed him too. He deserved it. There was nothing but fire. Avina's family evaporated. Avina too. Fire. Suddenly, my vision blurred. My core. I had burnt myself out. Gone? I heard a voice. Avina? Yeah, I said. Dead, she said. Can touch you, I said. You can now. Where are we? The garden, someone answered. We whirled around. A window. You've earned your own unmatched tale, a woman said. A vet? Friends, united in death, the two of them said in unison. He looked at Rowena. She smiled. Fire, I began. Water, Rowena said, are two parts of the same coin, we said. Evinder and Ovet smiled. And they can mix, we finished. Friends forever, Avina asked. Friends forever, I said, smiling. The end. Thank you.